Okay, folks, I'm trying to get this into focus. I'm trying to get everything you need to see in focus. Yeah, I think that's more like it. Anyway, I'm back with Kombora II. Remember last time with the Kombora I, which was a system for monitoring your SCARI or guard, making sure they don't abscond from the site or sleep or, basically not pay attention at the site. So that one only had one switch with a timer, meaning the guard had to keep pressing that switch before a preset time, otherwise the timer would turn the siren on. Now, this is a Kombora II. As you can see, it's bigger. In real installations, it won't be the panel won't be this big. It will be much smaller. But this is a panel we use for testing purposes in our facility, and also for debugging and all those things, for programming basically. But in the product you will get will be much smaller than this, but inside is a clever box. Now, what it does is, in this case, I've programmed in two switches, like to monitor the SCARI or the guard. Two buttons that the SCARI has to keep pressing again, like it was before in Kombora I, where the guard, once the system is turned on, the guard has to press these switches before a certain time elapses, programmed according to the customer requirements. And if that time elapses, an alarm will sound. Now, those are two switches in this case, but I also have 4 motion detectors, 1, 2, 3, 4, M1 to M4. Those are motion detectors. We can have these outside the house, in the compound, in the parking lot, wherever you want them. So if they detect any motion, they will turn on security lamps first, and if the motion continues, they will also sound the alarm. These, the button that the guard has to press, those, if the time elapses, will sound an alarm. I'm just going to show you how this works. First of all, you have to turn the power on, and now this button is for arming the system. Power is on now. You cannot arm the system without power being on, so turn on the power first. Usually the power will be on all the time, and then arm the system. Once the system is armed, the guard has to keep pressing these buttons. In this case, I've programmed them to be activated after about 30 seconds, I think. So if after 30 seconds, about 30 seconds, you see the siren has gone on because the guard did not come and deal with the switches. So if the guard were to come and play with the switches, you see the alarm resets. I'm going to let you see this one more time. Imagine if he keeps coming and doing that, keeps coming and playing with the switches. Ideally, it would be a push button switch. So that would be pressing it, that would be releasing it. So normally it would be in that position, and that would be him pressing both. Of course, it would be impossible if you put the switches far away from each other, say at extreme corners of the facility. So he has to keep pressing this one, press that one in turns. So let's imagine he hasn't done the pressing. In this case, I said 30 seconds, but this can be programmed to any time the customer wants, say 30 minutes, 1 hour, whatever. So the guard has to keep doing a patrol around the facility and make sure they press that button before now the alarm has gone on because no pressing was done. If he only pressed one, the alarm still sounds until he goes and presses the other, but by that time the alarm has gone off and the client, if they're available, the customer is aware that the guard hasn't been up to. Now imagine the guard were to press the button and not go away, both of them simultaneously, then the alarm would not come on account of this. So now let's imagine there is some motion. It's the guard is doing his job, but there is some motion elsewhere where you normally would not allow the guard to go there, because if he goes there, he will set this off. But imagine these are motion sensors, and an attacker came in, or somebody that should not be there came in. The security lamps will go on first, and after a preset time, in this case, again, I think I did 20 or 30 seconds, the alarm should also sound. You're going to see the alarm come on account now of the motion sensors. Imagine these are out of the equation, they have been dealt with properly, and they are not causing the alarm, but you see now the siren has gone off. If you take away if the motion sensor stops detecting, after 10 seconds, the lamps are going to go out, and the siren also is going to go out after a similar time. See, that's 10 seconds. I'll show you that again. Say this time it is this sensor that has sensor number 3, motion sensor number 3 that has detected motion. The lamp goes on immediately, and then if the motion continues, the lamp of course will stay on. Eventually, after about 30 seconds, the alarm is also going to go on. This is to avoid false alarms, such that not every motion sensor activation will activate the siren. It will only be after after it continues, after the motion continues for a set time, which now eliminates the element of false alarms. Now imagine you would take that off and that off. Both the lamp and the alarm are going to go on. Okay, now earlier, so we've dealt with the motion sensors. Now earlier you saw that these can be reset simply by the guard simply by the guard coming and pressing the buttons. However, if the alarm goes off on account of these guard presence, I'll call them guard presence switches with timers, if it goes on the first time and it is not attended to, in this case I'm going to ignore pressing this. Imagine the askari has the guard has absconded. The alarm will come on and then go off, okay, for a set time. Say in this case I think I did 10 seconds, and then wait again and wait for an extra time. Like in this case I doubled the time from initially 30 seconds coming on and then off. If after 60 seconds in this case the guard has not again pressed these buttons, this is going to come on, and now even if the guard comes and presses these buttons, it is the only way this thing will reset. This alarm will reset, or if you press the on-off system on-off button. So that is the only way you can silence the siren. If the sensor causing this the siren to come on these two, is either to come and press these switches, or after the first say 30 seconds, it will go off automatically. But if it comes on the second time, the only way of resetting the system, of resetting the alarm, will be either the guard or someone else to come and press the buttons here, or for you inside the house to reset the system using this arming button. It is the only way. I'm going to wait again for you to see that. The only way this, when it comes on the second time, when you haven't pressed those buttons, since it was reset, the only way these are going to go off is if you touch those buttons, if the guard touches those buttons, press those buttons, or you inside the house press this button to reset. Right now, alarm is still ongoing. Yes. Remember, he has to press both. If he presses only one, it's not going to listen to that. It wants him to be able to go to both sensors and press them. That will be that for Kombora II. I hope it has been an interesting, quick introduction to Kombora II. You can see it is still at work, but I have to cut the video short. But I think you got the idea of how Kombora II works. Thank you very much.